The last few weeks, she hasn't been asking for any attention. I mean none. When I come home, she is happy and talks to me, but in the day, dead silence. I know this girl better than that, and like her parents, and it's like breathing. But if she isn't communicating with me, then with who? Back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go a story titled, I think my girlfriend is cheating on me, but I might just be paranoid. And big shout out to Joseph for sending me this story. And guys, this story is all about a guy. He's only 26. His girlfriend's 25. He's been with her for 5 years. And ultimately, guys, you're going to see that he does, in fact, find out that she is cheating. However, the way he handles this is like a boss. Let me tell you, the lengths he goes to kick her out of his life, and literally kicking her out of his life, and what he does to shock her and all that is brilliant. But you're going to see, guys, in this story, he is your typical nice guy. And he does all these nice guy things I tell you not to do, both in the stories I cover on this channel as well as my main channel, Strong Successful Male, which if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe. Does all the wrong things. Nice guy, white knight, all that. And even though he does that, you just want to smack him for a lot of things that he does. He is young, and the guy, obviously, he's a good man, it seems like that, but just doesn't know any better and learns the hard way. And this is a perfect example of how gals will totally take advantage of guys if they're not careful, how you got to pay attention to red flags, how you have to know that there are what red flags to look out for, how you can't be too nice, can't be too giving, especially to someone who's a taker, because you're going to see this girl's a taker. But I don't want to reveal too much, but ultimately, he will have the last laugh eventually, because he does get hurt. But a lesson to guys just to not be and do a lot of the things he does in this story. So it starts off, he says here, English is not my native language, so please excuse the grammar. If I had $1 for every time I heard that one. This is a throwaway account for obvious reasons. Okay, first of all, I was going to spend the rest of my life with her. I feel sick to my stomach just suspecting this, but I don't know if I just feel something is wrong. Well, if you feel something is wrong, something probably is wrong. Let me explain. Okay, so last year she's been staying with me. I pay for all the rent, the food, and everything, and I've been putting in extra hours to fast-track my career. Smack! You should not be having her live with you and you taking care of everything, okay? She needs to contribute half, okay? And if not half, darn close to half, okay? I'm great he's grinding on it for his career, that's awesome, but paying for everything? That's nice guy shit. That's white knight shit. What's wrong with her? Does she not have hands? Does she not have feet? Is she cannot speak? Can she not see? She's incapable of having a job and providing? Bullshit. Nice guy stuff. The only problem with that is she is demanding. I have to speak to her every half an hour on Skype and always let her know where I am or going at all. And when I'm not working, I have to spend it with her. Smack. He's paying all the bills, providing everything, and he's saying he has to contact her on Skype or the phone every half an hour and tell her where he is, where he's going, and spend all his free time with her. This is called P-whipped. And no woman is going to respect a man that's P-whipped. And she's demanding. But obviously he's a nice guy, doesn't know any better. Typical blue pill, as they call it. So is any wonder you're going to see that she's cheating on him? It's obvious to me. It's obvious to many of you guys, but to a lot of you guys, they don't know any better and have to go through this shit to learn. And I guarantee you, who you're going to see she's cheating with doesn't do any of that. The last few months, she's been complaining that I don't give her all the attention that she needs, and I sat her down and said that when I'm not with her, I'm building a life for us. Here's where the problem comes in. Where the problem is you're too nice, you're too giving, you're too easy, you're a doormat, you're spineless. You're a good guy, obviously, but you can't be this way. The last few weeks, she hasn't been asking for any attention. I mean none. When I come home, she's happy and talks to me, but in the day, dead silence. I know this girl better than that and her parents, like breathing, but if she isn't communicating with me, then with who? So all of a sudden, she doesn't need you to talk to her during the day. Before, like, talk to her every half an hour or something like that, check in all the time. All of a sudden, no radio silence, nothing. She's getting her attention someplace else, mark my words. This is where his gut telling him something's wrong is accurate. It can't be her friends, because none of them can talk with her for so much, and I don't think she's giving me room because she tells me everything she does. I ask her why so quiet, and she says she's just really busy. I say, how can she be so busy if she's unemployed? There's a good question. Because she's lying to you, bro. Because she's cheating. Don't be so naive. Don't be so blind. I know this may sound crazy from an outside perspective, but I can't shake the feeling that she's getting her emotional outlet from somewhere else. I can feel in my bones something is off and it's killing me. You're darn right something's off. If all of a sudden she's doing a complete 180 in her behavior about wanting attention, she's getting it someplace else. And it ain't just emotional stuff she's getting someplace else. She's getting something physical too. Now, she or me has never cheated to my knowledge, and I've never had to suspect, although now, or thought that she was capable until now. Again, more clueless, naive, nice guy stuff. You think that she's never cheated, but I hate to break it to you. Now we're going to go through an update here, then eventually a final update where our man redeems himself here. As an update, he says, first off, thanks to anyone who replied to my last post. It's been a hard few days. Okay, so I decided to have a chat with my girl, but only after I did some snooping. Long story short, I now know she's cheating on me with one of her friends. There you go. We can see that coming 100 miles away, but not this guy. And in his mind, he's probably like, what did I do wrong? I pay for everything. I do what she says she wants me to do. I listen to all her problems. I'm there for her. I don't ignore her. In his mind, he's doing everything that he's supposed to do because that's what our society and the narrative says a guy should do. And when he does those things, look what happens. That's why pretty much you do the exact opposite of what the gals say they want. You do the opposite of what the narrative tells you to do. Because that's what the bad boys do, and the bad boys have the girls chasing after them. For what I gathered from the messages, they have had, a few times, and she has no intention of leaving me. But that makes me feel even worse. In the messages, I found the guy was pleading with her to leave me, to which she then replied to him that she'll never be able to look after him like I do. So she's just with me because I got the money. There you go. The only reason she's with him is because of what he provides. End of story. This poor guy, he's with her for 5 years. She's been using him. And there's no way she hasn't been getting the D someplace else over 5 years. There's no way that this is the first time she's cheated. This has completely killed me. I feel like I have broken every bone in my body. I've taken off work and I'm sitting at a friend's house trying to figure out how I'm going to confront her about this. There is no way that I'm going to break up with her because I still don't know what to tell her. I don't want to shout or cry or whatever. I just want her out of my life. I want to pretend this never happened, that I did not waste 5 years investing in a relationship that was founded on lies. Anyway, there's a shitstorm and that is my love life. Sounds like this guy is not confrontational. Sounds like this guy obviously is not someone that could check her or anything like that, which will make a woman lose respect for a man. I can't blame the guy for wanting her out of his life and just not wanting to deal with this shit anymore, but it's quite warranted to tear her a new one and yell at her and all that. But then again, if this guy is weak, which he obviously has demonstrated so far, she could probably twist things around and make it out and cry, make it out to be his fault, and then he would cave and stay with her. But at the end of the day, she's a liar, she's a cheater, she's a user, staying with him only because of the money. But don't worry, guys. Part 3, he redeems himself in a great way. It says here, he says, wow, I sort of forgot about this update with everything that has happened. So the day I found out of her infidelity, I called my boss and took 2 days off work to sort out this mess. I went over to my best friend's flat and had a long chat with him, but eventually he had to leave for work, so I sat on his couch alone, drinking whiskey out of the bottle. That is not a good idea. Meanwhile, my girl at the time was in my flat. I own the flat, totally oblivious to the fact that I now know. But in my drunken state, I devised my plan. Later that day, after sobering up, I called my girlfriend. I told her I have to immediately leave on a business trip as my boss, who was supposed to go, suddenly fell ill, and that I will only be returning on Monday. She started shitting on my head about me working all the time and how the company does not value me as an employee. Oh, now she's mad because you're leaving. And this is the same gal. He's trying to work hard and make money to spend on her. And if he didn't work as hard as he was, she'd complain because he didn't have enough money. He could never win with her. At this point, I'm grinding my teeth and just using every bit of my willpower not to shout at her. Well, you should shout at her. I tell her that I will make it up to her by buying her a weekend spa trip in a spa hotel 2 towns over. She agrees and the plan is set in motion. Well, this is all funny and all what you're going to do here, dude, but you could easily just tell her to get the hell out of your freaking place and yelled at her and now spending money on a spa weekend and get her out. But, okay, it's entertaining. So, I sleep over at my friend's place as I'm out of town on business. I call the next day to say I booked her a bus ticket and a spa. She gets pissed off that she can't use my car, but I tell her the car's been breaking down these last few days, and I don't want her to be stranded 2 towns over. So, here's the timeline of the events he does to get rid of her. He says, the bus leaves at 12 o'clock, so I called at 12:10 to hear that she has left. At 12:40, I arrive at the flat and start to categorize everything in 2 piles, mine and hers. At 1 o'clock, the 2 moving company trucks arrive, and I organized yesterday. And a bunch of guys arrive, and they start to pack up everything into 2 boxes. Or into boxes. Nice. Gather up all her stuff and send it the hell out of there. At 3 o'clock, the locksmith arrives and changes all the locks. At 3:30, the trucks are packed and all is good. So the one truck is taking my stuff to my friend's house, while the other truck is taking all her stuff to a storage locker. I block her on all social networks, phone, email, etc. At 4:30, my friend goes over to the guy who she cheated on me with, gives him the key to the storage locker, and tell him that what I did. He leaves out that part where I'm going to stay. At 5 o'clock, I get back to my friend's house. We open up a bottle of wine and drink to new beginnings. Sweet. Now here's the thing. That's his flat. What's he doing with that? Well, I found out that this guy eventually is going to rent it out to make money, and he only had it because she wanted to live there. Now knowing that the only place where she can find me is at work, I email a photo of her to company security office and tell them that this woman has been harassing me and now knows where I work. She also claims that she is my girlfriend. Please don't let her in the building. This guy did a lot of good thinking while he was trashed. Next, I cancel the credit card that I gave her in my name and stop all money that I put into her accounts every month. Smack! The smack is for him letting her have a credit card that was attached to his name as well as the whole money thing. But good job doing what he just did now. So over the course of the week, she has tried contacting me multiple times. Oh, I bet she has, because she's homeless. She only came to my work once, but I think security probably scared her so bad that she won't come back. Every message I get that starts with, "I'm so sorry," I delete without even reading. She made her bed and she can lay in it. You're damn right. So there it is. For better or worse, I'm done with her. I know I should proofread this, but in all honesty, I just want to be done with it. So there you go, guys. That's the end of his story there. Now, again, sure, he could have just pretty much, went to the house, yelled at her, and told her to get the hell out. End of story, but this is more entertaining this way. Imagine her coming back from that spa weekend. She can't get into the apartment and finds out from her lover that all her shit's been moved out in the storage locker, all that. That's pretty funny. And she probably never ever thought this guy would have the balls to do that. So good for him. Now, like I said in the beginning, this guy was being completely used for his resources. So the lesson here is for you guys out there, you have a girlfriend, she can pay for half. You move in with her, which frankly you shouldn't unless it's been years and you're thinking about marrying her. This is the final test to see if you can actually live with her. She should pay half or damn close to half. And that's only on the basis that she doesn't make as much money. But she should be paying pretty much half. Don't pay for all the stuff. Don't let yourself be used, because there's so many gals out there be more than happy to use some guy that's some sucker and take him for everything he's worth, and then cheat on him as a way to show thank you. Also letting her push him around, tell him what to do, make demands, because guess what? No woman is going to respect a guy that's a pushover, lets her push around, okay? And she certainly won't love that guy, and she'll end up cheating with the dude that does the exact opposite. But so many guys out there are clueless, and they follow the narrative that a guy has to behave that way to get a girl to like him. It's ridiculous. But he redeemed himself with this nice, orchestrated, well-sought-out plan. And I wish this guy the absolute best. All right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me think about this. Let me hear, guys. Have you ever known anybody or you yourself that went through an elaborate thing to get rid of a gal? I'd like to hear about that. Very entertaining to hear. And also, if you have any good stories like to share, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. Just give me some time to get to it, and I eventually will. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.